Come on, clock. There we go. Welcome to Bracket Bash, the podcast where we take a bracket of 32, 64, 128 or more and banter our way down to a winner. As always, I am your humble host, Freddie Fisher, and this is, yes,
Jessica, the best looking bastard.
Casey.
I am Casey. I am the replacement bastard, as well as the host of An Evening at the Movies. And I am happy to be here. So, next.
Q.
Of course, this is your boy Q, aka the best bastard of them all. Usually fashionably late, but I'm actually on time today.
You're welcome.
Let's go.
He was early today.
For everything.
You're welcome.
And that's 4 people on the panel so far, which means we do have a special guest, and that is Brian. How are you doing today there, sir?
I'm doing good. I guess I would be the dank bastard, since I'm from thedailydank.com.
It's interesting.
Yeah, that was a complete surprise too. Like I didn't inform Brian about the entire Bastardhood hood names before that, so he just came up that on the fly. That's unique. This week, as always, I'm glad to have you guys here. This episode is dedicated. We are finally doing action movies. We're about 75 or so episodes in, and we've never done a bracket solely for action movies. It's been postponed multiple times, but we are doing action movies this time. Voting wise is going to be myself, Jess, Casey, Q, and then Brian bringing up the rear. As you guys know, we have the rule with the final swing, or as of course some people like to call it, the blowing of loads. You can use this one time per show. You cannot blow somebody else's load. You cannot have somebody else blow their load for you. So be careful with where you decide to blow your load. And first pick goes to me. We have Die Hard 1988 versus Demolition Man 1983. Die Hard is a classic. When we did this on Bracketology, Die Hard won the entire thing, so it is definitely a first seed. However, Demolition Man is one of my favorite movies of all time, even over Die Hard. This is a definite matchup that I hate to see go down, even though I did make these rankings. Shout out to Dre on that one. I'm going to go for Demolition Man, even if it's in a losing effort. I'm still going to go ahead for Demolition Man. This is Wesley Snipes and Sylvester Stallone. So deadly combination. Jess,
I'm going with Die Hard.
you would. Casey,
I would.
Yeah. Not the Demolition Man. It's not a great movie because it is. And definitely pre-tax problems for Wesley Snipes. But it's Die Hard.
Die Hard gets a vote. Q.
Well, I definitely don't, die hard for Die Hard, so,
Wait, Die Hard for me.
fuck that. Demolition Man. I really don't like that movie. I just don't. I think it's so overrated.
Wow.
It
You're
was Demolition
overrated.
Man. Demolition Man versus Die Hard is a tie game. Going to Brian, it is his first episode,
I
his
know.
first vote, and he gets a tie-breaking decision. Does he get to knock out the number 1 seed of Die Hard in an action movie bracket?
Oh my god. Please do that.
No
It's so
pressure.
fucking
No pressure.
funny.
So, if we're going heads up, the two of them together, like Demolition Man is a great film on its own, but it's definitely different. I gotta go Die Hard.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, it's the classic, man. Especially if you're going heads up, the two of them together. If you're holding them separate, it's a whole different ball game.
Freddie, I'm not vibing, Freddie.
So, okay, you just brought up the entire classic factor that Die Hard is a classic movie, correct?
Yeah.
Only issue with that is that Demolition Man is 5 years younger. Sorry, 5 years older. My apologies. 5 years older than Die Hard. It came out in 83, where Die Hard came out in 88. So your premise alone is flawed.
Yeah. Well, my definition of classic, I don't think is like vintage. Like I think that's different. My definition of classic, yeah, definitely, it's a Christmas movie. I know that's a whole different argument.
You might want to check your date because I don't think Die Hard or Demolition Man came out before First Blood.
We're not doing First Blood. We're doing Die Hard.
Yeah, but I thought
I can do it too.
didn't you say Demolition Man came out in '83?
It did come out in 83.
Someone's getting their movies and years mixed up.
Well, I mean, that's what the website that I got off of told them. This is from timeout.com, by the way. So if you guys want to mess with these rankings as far as it goes, blame them. That's why these two are going
not
together.
even an org or a gov or an edu, not even a credible site, Freddie.
Shame on you.
Timeout. It is timeout.com. Anyway, Die Hard moves on in a really, really close matchup. But Jess starts us off, and we have Dirty Dozen from 1967 versus Heat, 1996.
Heat.
Heat gets a vote. If I remember right, Heat is Robert De Niro. And De Niro, shut up. And Dirty Dozen being way before my time, I cannot actually tell you. I'm pretty sure it's a Western, though. So it gets... Heat goes to Jess's vote. Casey, is it Heat or Dirty Dozen?
Heat.
Gets another one. Q.
It's getting hot in here. Heat, yeah.
Heat with her out thus far. Brian.
I almost want to go for nostalgia and say Dirty Dozen just because it doesn't matter, just so they get a little action in there. But no,
Every vote matters.
Yeah, Heat's a great movie. Heat's awesome.
Heat is a great movie. I'm going to go with Heat as well. It is a 5-0 rout on that one, which also makes it a sweep. So it moves on to round two. Casey starts us off on this one. We have Hero from 2002 versus Bourne Ultimatum 2007.
Bourne Ultimatum.
It gets a vote. I would like to let you guys know too. If there's any sequels and stuff like this in here, like Bourne Ultimatum, there's only one of the franchise in the entire bracket. I chose the highest one ranked on that particular list. So Bourne Ultimatum gets a vote. Q.
So, if I am correct, is Hero the one where it's like there's like an English voiceover? Or am I looking at the wrong movie?
No, I believe you're right. Yeah, kind of a Japanese Chinese type film. Yeah.
So it's just all like, "Yo, what's up, guys? How you doing?" You know. So yeah. I'm not gonna vote for that one. So, and honestly, surprisingly enough, the only Bourne movie I've seen is Ultimatum. So.
Bourne Ultimatum gets a vote. Brian.
I'll go Bourne Ultimatum. Great movie, the whole series.
I'm gonna keep this from being a sweep on here. I'm gonna go with Hero. As far as action goes, Hero is a better movie. Bourne Ultimatum has a better storyline. However, they also have two movies before that, a movie before that to build off of it. Unfortunately, Hero doesn't have that. So, but as far as the fight scenes and everything else goes, Hero gets my vote. Jess, is it Bourne Ultimatum or Hero?
What the? Thank you. Sorry.
I'm gonna have to go with Bourne Ultimatum.
I did prevent a sweep on that one. Bourne goes 4-1 on that one. Moving on to the next round. Q starts us off. We have Better Tomorrow, 1986 versus John Wick, 2014.
All right. What was the first one? Sorry, I have a dog being a dick in the background.
Better Tomorrow, 1986.
And then it was
John Wick.
John Wick. Yeah, let's go with John Dick. Fuck it.
John Wick gets a vote on that one. Brian.
John Dick.
Hey,
I think
you
John
don't
Wick.
mess with his dog, John Wick all the way.
You know, I do find it funny that this vote started off with Q's dog being a dick, and we're talking about a Man, he's fighting because of this dog. I'm gonna go with John Wick as well. Anyway, he's got one of the highest kill counts as far as action movies go, which is absolutely fantastic. And with my vote, it will be moving on. Jess, John Wick, Better Tomorrow,
John Wick.
and Casey, finish us out.
Sweep, sweep, sweep.
Sweep, sweep, sweep. It is a sweep. It is 5-0. John Wick moves on to the next round.
But on a real note, who really does like to sweep?
I don't.
I don't screw my Swiffer.
Swiffer, not a sponsor. Could be.
That could be.
Brian gets a good one starting us out. We have Kill Bill from 2003 versus Machete 2010.
Ooh, man, that's a
I'd
hard one. That's
put
a
only
hard
one
one.
and two next to each other, Freddie.
I actually wrote and directed a short film with Danny Trejo, which I'm very proud of. A great guy. But man, Kill Bill is so good. Two different kind of movies too. I'm gonna have to go Kill Bill.
Kill Bill gets a vote. I will forever go with Machete on this one. Dude, Danny Trejo is a comedic genius, and he's not even trying to be. Like he's just there, and he's freaking fantastic. Machete gets my vote, and unfortunately, they never did the sequel about like Machete in space, which still bothers me. But there's that. Jess, is it Kill Bill or Machete?
I'm gonna have to go Kill Bill.
Kill Bill gets a
You
vote.
move over, Freddie.
Casey, is it Kill Bill or Machete?
Go, Bill.
And Q, finish us out.
He completely ignored you.
Yeah, so
I honestly didn't hear what you said, and I didn't want to bring focus to it. So, because it's you.
well, since it got focus brought back to it,
Exactly.
if you lose sleep over that,
No, I don't.
so
I
you're not
don't.
that upset about it then.
No, because one of these days they're going to do it just like they made, and they're going to ruin it. Like,
Every other movie they've ever done.
no, Hulu ruined History of the World Part 2 because History of the World Part 1 was a fantastic movie, and then they did it in so many different segments, like an SNL skit on Hulu, and it was terrible. So, Kill Bill gets Jess's vote. Casey's vote. Q, finish us out.
All right, yeah. I'm probably gonna go with Kill Bill myself. Honestly, that's probably one of the weirdest fucking movies that I've actually like ever watched. It's just I don't know. It's just bad.
If you want to watch a really weird movie like as an action flick,
I don't know, like the acting. I don't know. It's just sounds weird.
there's a movie that just came out. We don't like Rotten Tomatoes, but it did get a pretty good score on it. It's a decent movie. That entire Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, weird ass movie. It's a good movie. It's just a weird ass movie. It's one of those movies you got to watch multiple times to actually understand it. Kill Bill moves on 4-1. I start us off the next one. We have Commando, 1985 versus Spartacus, 1960. Arnold Schwarzenegger is like the king of one-liners when it comes to action movies, and this is one of my favorite ones of his. And Commando is going to be getting my vote. Spartacus does have a really famous scene when it comes to it, but that's pretty much all it actually has. So Commando gets my vote. Jess, Commando or Spartacus?
I'll go with Commando.
It gets another one. Casey?
Yeah, no sweep. Spartacus.
Spartacus gets a vote. Q.
I'm going Commando.
You win.
You can see my bulge.
Commando gets a vote and the win. Brian, finish us out.
You know, I got to go Commando. I wore that thing out on VHS as a kid, so.
Commando goes 4-1.
Stop.
Jess.
Stop it.
I wasn't going to. Jess starts us off. We have Point Break, 1991 versus Leon the Professional, 1994.
don't think I've ever seen either one of these movies.
Point Break, if I remember right, is Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze. And Leon the Professional, I honestly cannot remember the guy's name.
Is it Leon?
No. No,
Natalie
like his.
Portman. Natalie Portman was the little girl. I can't.
Well,
think
yeah,
of
but
her
what's
name.
yeah the guys? She's there, but she's not like there type thing.
Yeah,
She's not
Gary
the main.
Oldman. Yeah, Gary Oldman was the bad guy. I can't think of who. It's the French guy. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, it's a good movie. But
I'll go with the Keanu Reeves one.
Keanu Reeves gets a vote on this one. Casey, is it Point Break or Leon the Professional?
Point Break. Point Break.
Q. Point Break. Leon the Professional.
Which one is younger?
Point Break, and that when no, sorry, the younger one is Leon the Professional, 94.
And the other one was in what?
91.
Yeah, I'm going with 94. Let's go.
Leon the Professional gets a vote. Brian.
If we're going just based on like action movie, I gotta go Point Break.
It gets the point and the win. I'm going to go with Leon the Professional on this one. I personally think it's the better movie of the two. There's a better storyline behind it, but Point Break cannot spell.
That's
Gets-
nothing.
I know. Gets
You
to
don't
win
have to
3-2
count.
in a split vote.
Emily can't count to
Casey starts us off in the last one of the first half of the first round. We have, let's go, First Blood, since you brought it up before, versus Bridge on the River Kwai.
Honestly, it's probably the best well-written of the entire franchise, so I'm going to go with First Blood.
First Blood will be getting a vote. Q.
What is it? Damn it. I can't think of the fucking name of the other movie, but I'm just kind of wondering if they're like intertwined or not together. I don't know if they are or not. Bloodsport.
No, Bloodsport is a karate competition movie, and if I remember right, First Blood and Bridge on the River Kwai are both war films, pretty much.
Okay.
It's the best category I can slip them into. They're not legitimate war films, but they're close to it.
All right, let's go with First Blood then.
First Blood gets a vote. Brian.
They drew First Blood.
Not me.
With that, it gets the vote and the win. I will be going for First Blood as well. And Jess, finish us up.
First Blood.
It's always fun to
Gets
be
a-
that guy to get First Blood. So it's like,
We-
yeah.
We will be right back after this break for the second half of round one. Brian, this is usually the time that, as far as the live shows go, since it stays on YouTube, you have the ability to do a kind of a live ad type thing. But I'm going to have you go on the next one if you choose to go. That way, you can have a little more of a heads up. Casey, do you have anything to share?
Probably.
Do you want to go? You want to go now, or you want to wait?
Yeah, I can go now.
Good.
Let's see. We interrupt this episode of Bracket Bastards to bring you the following update. An Evening at the Movies is returning to the podcast world with an awful lot of amazing content coming. So you can find us on all forms of social media and check us out. Stay updated. Stay tuned in to what we have coming. Wizard of Oz tributes, Johnny Depp birthday episodes, Tom Hanks birthday bracket coming up as well. Join myself, Amanda, and a wealth of other guests, most of which are also a member of the I Did Not Make These Rankings podcast network. So at the end of the day, we hope you enjoy the show. We hope you check us out. And as always, we now return you to your regularly scheduled episode of Bracket Bastards.
We're actually doing a Tom Hanks bracket in the fall as well. So be kind of intriguing to see where our movie selections end up in comparison to yours. Anyway, Brian, you got a basic idea about how that goes. Had a little time to figure out what's going to happen. So looks like Q starts us off, though. Welcome back for the second half of round one. Q is going to be starting us off on this one. We have The Professionals, 1966 versus IP Man, 2008.
I peed, man.
Fuck you.
It gets a vote. Brian,
I knew that was going to happen.
That threw me off guard there. Wait a
I mean,
minute.
yeah, I got to start that one too. Like that was just too good to be true.
The planets aligned on that one. That was good. I'll go IP Man. That was a great action flick.
I'm going to agree with that one. The IP Man, as far as action for action goes, we get my vote. All jokes aside on that one, though, it is a damn good movie. Jess, IP Man or The Professionals?
Well, Quentin sold me with the way he said that. So
Yep.
That's all I can hear now. Every time he says it, that's it.
Right, I peed, man.
Casey, finish this out.
Yeah, now unfortunately that is going to be stuck in my head until this gets voted out. And I've been on enough to know that IP Man probably just won the whole fucking thing.
I seriously doubt that.
Don't doubt
Anyway.
Q. Q will find a way to pull the puppet strings and make the freaking movie win. Yeah, IP Man.
IP Man, it is a sweep. That sweep will be going against Die Hard in the next round.
A lot of pee.
So
Well, in that case, then it ain't going past the second round.
that's what I'm saying.
Ooh.
Brian starts us off on this one, and we have Once Upon a Time in the West in 1968 versus A Dark Knight in 2008.
Oh, Dark Knight.
It
Hands
will be
down.
it will be getting a vote. I'm not voting for A Dark Knight. I am voting for Heath Ledger. I don't really like the movie, but I love Heath Ledger's performance in the movie. And Once Upon a Time in the West, I personally think this is one of the few times that the remake actually did it better than the original. So, but this is the original movie of the two. But Dark Knight gets my vote. Jess, Dark Knight, Once Upon a Time in the West.
Dark Knight.
With that, we'll be getting the win. Casey.
Oh, it is, in my opinion, Dark Knight is the better of the three Christopher Nolan movies. And if it doesn't move on, then it's a freaking tragedy. And I think it's already moving on. So,
Yep, that is the fourth vote. Q, finish us out.
Dark Knight.
In a sweep. Dark Knight moves on. We face another sweep and Heat in round two. I start us off on this one. We have Bullet, 1968, and I'm super glad Jeremy or Vanessa is not here because hopefully we can get this voted down as quickly as possible. But 1977 Star Wars against Bullet. On premise alone, I'm voting against Star Wars. That I don't care what movie was there. It could have been like, I don't know. I'm a little teapot version of some kind of cartoon. On version alone, I am voting against Star Wars because I can't stand that movie. Q said something.
It could have been the live, animated version of fucking The Lion King. It was just terrible.
Yeah, just terrible movie. I cannot stand Star Wars. I personally think it's completely overrated. I get it. I get why people love it. I just don't. So Bullet, plus Bullet being Steve McQueen. The cars in that movie, the main car in that movie is absolutely fantastic. As a car guy, I absolutely love it. So the older of the two movies, Bullet will be getting my vote on this one. Jess, is it Bullet or Star Wars?
Anything but Star Wars. Get Star
Casey.
Wars the fuck out of here.
I refuse to.
Dun,
Fucking
dun,
vote,
dun.
I refuse to fucking vote on this matchup.
Goodbye, friend of Hagrid.
But I see the handwriting on the wall, and I'm not going to shame myself, and I will join the masses and vote for Bullet.
Keep it
No.
the bullet.
Granted, now to be perfectly honest, yeah, we all know my disdain for Star Wars, but Bullet is a really good movie though. So it's not like Star Wars is
Well,
losing to a crappy movie. It is just losing to a movie. Period.
I mean,
Q.
even if it was going up against a crappy movie, it would still lose.
But anyway, Q. Bullet. Star Wars.
Does anybody else wonder why, like, the bad guys can outnumber the good guys just fucking 100-1, but yet they miss every single fucking shot?
Because the storm. If you look at
It's
the
like, how the
stormtrooper's
fuck
helmet,
does
their eyes.
everybody miss? There's 100 people and there's 5 of you. They all shot once and they all missed.
Design flaws in their helmets is what happens. I'm going to safely assume that is a vote for Bullet, though.
Yes, yeah.
All right, Brian, finish this out.
You know, good help throughout the galaxy is hard to find, man. You got to go through day labor. You know, you can't get the best people, so they're gonna miss their shots. That's what. There's a lot of roles to fill in the galaxy. I don't know what I just stepped into. I'm glad I didn't turn my camera the other wall because it's all Star Wars. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, but if we're going action movie and what I feel an action movie is, like I feel actions are like those big blockbuster summer movies. You got cars, you got chase scenes, you got bullets flying. I gotta go.
You got
Bullet.
Fast
We're
and the
talking-
Furious, basically, is
Yeah.
what you're just exactly describing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think an action movie is. Star Wars, to me, is a good story. I know I'm going to catch a little heat on here, but action movie, I'm going Bullet.
And in a sweep, Star Wars
Problem
gets.
since you like Star Wars now.
I know I just sealed my own fate. I'm just up.
No, it's. This is a running joke. It's a running joke among the entire crew. There's a whole bunch of running jokes that you'll just get into eventually. Bullet moves on 5-0. Will be facing Bourne Ultimatum in the next round. Jess starts us off. We have Enter the Dragon, 1973 versus Bloodsport, 1978.
Ooh, good match.
Sorry, 1988. My bad.
Why are all these movies older than me?
That's because you're young.
I mean, they're mostly older than me too. Actually,
I'm not even 30 yet.
I've just seen a lot of 80 movies.
Either one of these movies.
Oh, you've never seen Bloodsport?
Bloodsport is Jean-Claude Van Damme, if I remember right? And Enter the Dragon is Bruce Lee.
I'll go with
If I
Bruce
remember
Lee.
right, it's one of the few. I think it's one of the few movies that God, what is his name? Good beer. There's Chuck Norris. It's one of the few movies that Chuck Norris actually lost in. So
Norris doesn't lose. Under his
He
beard
does-
is another fist. What do you mean?
it's. You know,
You.
did you know Chuck Norris's beard hairs are used for bulletproof vests?
Chuck Norris said
Bloodsport.
twice.
I'll go with Bloodsport.
Bloodsport gives a vote. Chuck Norris signed his own birth certificate. let's not go down that route.
Let's just leave it that.
Yeah, leave it at that one. Casey, is it Enter the Dragon or Bloodsport?
Only for the pure fact that I don't think there would be martial arts movies without Bruce Lee. I'll be voting for Enter the Dragon.
Enter the Dragon gets a vote. Q.
Bruce Lee is a fraud. He's not even real. It's not even like real. All for show. All for show.
Birds aren't real either. That's the point. Q, what's your vote?
No. So yeah, I'm going with Bloodsport.
Bloodsport gets a vote. Brian, Enter the Dragon, Bloodsport.
I wanted to show this real quick. Ironically, I just picked this up, signed by Bolo Young, who is in that movie, also in Bloodsport as well. So he played the bad guy. I'm gonna go Bloodsport for action movie. I think it has all the earmarks of what I think an action movie is.
I'm gonna go Bloodsport as well. Into the Dragon has a better storyline. Bloodsport has no storyline pretty much whatsoever. It's like 90% action, 10% storyline. But as far as action goes, it is the most action of action movies. The only other action movie that I can say that would have more fighting in it would be The Raid, which I don't think is actually on either side of this bracket. So unfortunately, because the website that I got this
on here anywhere?
Do what?
Is Mortal Kombat on here?
No.
Wow,
Every one of
so
them-
I don't get a finisher. Wow.
Every one of those movies are terrible. Bloodsport moves on 4-1. We'll be facing John Wick in the next round. Next up, Casey starts us off. We have Jess. You're talking about these movies being a lot older than you.
Jeez.
Casey, we have The Good, Bad, and the Ugly from 1966 versus The Adventures of Robin Hood, 1938.
Oh wow!
Jesus.
Is that a Earl Flynn? Is that the Robin Hood? Earl Flynn Robin Hood?
The earliest Robin Hood I remember is like on VHS when he's like a fox.
That's the one I remember too. Him and Little John walking through the forest.
I'll say like that's the only Robin Hood I can actually like even get closely to relating to right now.
Yup.
That was a throwback there. Oh man.
Casey, what you got?
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
It will be getting Casey vote on this one. Q.
Yeah, I'm have to agree. Good, bad, ugly.
Brian.
Good, bad, ugly.
I will be going for that one as well. The Good, Bad, and the Ugly, by the way, are the ones that the entire in like every Western scene where you have that entire wah wah wah. This is the movie that came from. Gets my vote. Jess, Good, Bad, and the Ugly, or The Adventures of Robin Hood.
Well, considering I've never liked Robin Hood, I could not stand that movie. The one, yeah, no. So I'm gonna have to go with Good, Bad, the Ugly.
You probably preferred Fox and the Hound, huh?
Yes.
In a sweep, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly moves on. We'll be facing Kill Bill in round 2. Q starts us off. We have The Avengers from 2012 versus Raiders of the Lost Ark, 1981.
I gotta go Avengers.
Avengers will be good. Avengers be getting a vote. Brian, Avengers, Raiders.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm gonna have to go Avengers. Thor, Hulk, that's an epic matchup. First time you ever saw it. I mean, man.
You guys are so wrong. I'm gonna go Raiders on this one. It's a stupid action. It's an action movie for the sake of an action movie as far as Raiders of the Lost Ark, and it didn't like they didn't have the best run as far as the full series goes, but it was it's the best movie of all of the Jones movies. So it's going to be getting my vote on that one. Jess, Raiders of the Lost Ark or the Avengers?
I'm going with Raiders.
Raiders gets a vote.
Raiders.
Yeah, I'm surprised Q didn't go for the Raiders of the Lost Ark because it had the Raiders in it.
Right?
It was too predictable.
Well, it may lose because of that. Casey,
In this case, and not the football.
because it is a split vote that's coming down to you,
We're gonna lose.
and we have the next competitor coming up. Would you like to know who it is facing next? Casey is nodding his head. It's either going to be Avengers or Raiders of the Lost Ark facing off against Commando in the next round.
Oh, it don't even matter then.
Raiders.
Raiders gets
Easily
a vote
Raiders.
in the win. 3-2. Raiders of the Lost Ark moves on. We're facing Commando the next round. Brian starts us off, and I really wish Harvey was here. We have Police Story from 1985 versus the Will Smith classic movie, Independence Day.
Oh man.
Oh, Murphy!
Uh, if we're going base off a sole action movie, summer blockbuster, what I think an action movie is, I gotta say Independence Day.
Independence Day gets a vote. With Harvey not being here, I probably should explain this a little bit. Harvey cannot stand Will Smith. He will vote against any kind of Will Smith project whatsoever.
Unless it's all Will Smith, and then he can't.
Yeah, the two things to that. One, like the new Aladdin movie, he'll vote against that. No, sorry, not the new Aladdin. The old the 92 Aladdin movie, he'll vote against that one because Aladdin is in the new. Or sorry, Will Smith is in the new Aladdin movie.
So it's affiliated somehow.
So it's affiliated. But we got on in one of our first like 30 episodes. Harvey wasn't there one week. He had to dip out a little bit beforehand. So we were doing a deal where whoever won the trivia contest, which we have got to do Jeopardy coming up pretty soon, to crown a new champion, the holder of the BBC, and that will come along later. We were doing trivia back then, and whoever won trivia got to choose the next bracket. Well, Jeremy, a previous bastard, won trivia, and he decided to do a Will Smith bracket that had all Will Smith projects in it. And we didn't tell Harvey that that's what that was because we weren't sure if he's going to show up. So until like we were in the first matchup, and I'm like, you know what? Let's just see if Harvey can tell what this is going to be. So Harvey was the first one to vote. And it was 2 Will Smith movies, and not even good ones. But he goes, I have a feeling I'm in the middle of a Will Smith bracket.
And then the second one was Will Smith, and he's like, "Yep, definitely." He's like, "What the hell?" He was not thrilled, but it was funny as fuck.
It was. So he had to vote for a Will Smith project 31 times in a row.
That's funny.
It was hilarious.
He was not happy with us.
He was, and we've gotten so much shit for it since then. We have.
Oh.
It's been worth it though. Independence Day gets the vote.
I mean, he made the mistake. He made the mistake.
Yeah, he told us about it, and I wouldn't have done it, but Jeremy picked it. I'm like, damn it. Independence Day gets Brian's vote. Independence Day.
I would have done it.
Independence Day gets my vote as well. It is one of my favorite movies of all time. I watch it every single Independence Day. It's one of the few holiday traditions that I have. Jess, is it Police Story that has, if I remember right, Jackie Chan stars in that movie?
I've actually seen that one.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
Which one?
Policeman. The policeman. I am sorry, Harvey, but I'm gonna have to go with Independence Day because I actually like that movie.
And with that, Independence Day, we'll be moving on to the next round. Casey.
So this last week on the I Did Not Make These Rankings draft episode, Harvey and I coined a new catchphrase, Old Fogies for Life. I will not vote for Independence Day in his honor. I will be voting for Police Story.
Police Story gets a vote, as it should. Q, finish this out.
And it's upsetting because I was definitely going to be like, you know what? Just for Harvey, I'm voting for fucking Independence Day. Let's go.
In a 4-1 vote, Independence Day moves on. We'll be facing Point Break in the next round. Last up in round one, Brian starts us off. We have True Lies in 1994 versus Kung Fu Hustle 2004.
I actually just watched True Lies last night. I was working. It was on the TV for background noise. Got to go True Lies on that one.
True Lies gets a vote. I think Schwarzenegger is represented enough in this bracket. I'm going to go Kung Fu Hustle just because of that point. Jess, Kung Fu Hustle or True Lies?
Kung Fu Hustle.
Guess another one. Casey.
True Lies.
Which means it's a tie-breaking decision coming down to Q. Knowing that this is a tie-breaking decision and we know who the next competitor is for the next round, would you like to know who will be facing in round two?
Sure, just for fun, because it's not going to matter. I already have my mind made up.
Either Kung Fu Hustle or True Lies will be facing the sweep in First Blood.
Interesting. True Guys.
True Lies. So it's going to be Schwarzenegger versus Stallone in round two. 3-2. We'll be right back right after this break. Did you want to do an ad there, Brian?
I'm sorry, what?
Did you want to do an ad?
Yeah, I'm good to go. Are we ready?
Arnold.
Yeah, go ahead. Feel free.
A lot, just so you guys know.
All right, guys. Hey, why don't you head on over and check out the Daily Dank when you got time, thedailydank.com, or also the Daily Dank on YouTube, Instagram, all the Twitters, everything over there, guys. We are a cannabis entertainment company. We do shows. We do 2 podcasts a day, one at 4:20, one at 7:10 in the morning. The morning show is wild. We get into all sorts of crazy stuff. The 420 show, we do Weed Wednesday, Movie Monday, Paranormal Tuesday, True Crime Thursday, and we can't forget Baked and Unboxed, where we get baked and we unbox a bunch of stuff and we give it away, guys. We're talking autographs, collectibles, you name it, we just give it away. We're giving away Funko Pops right now, you name it, autographs. I just happen to have all this stuff here, but I turned into Carrot Top somehow. But hey, guys, head over to thedailydank.com. You're going to like it. If you love cannabis, if you love pop culture, you're gonna love it, guys.
You have sparked my interest.
There was about 4 people in that entire promo that I was thinking about actually hooking you up with because of the stuff you're going on. The entire paranormal will be Jeremy. True crime would be Amanda and Shanna. The entire marijuana stuff like that goes Jess Rosen and her really good shit.
Nice.
So there's a whole bunch of things that were going on that one. But anyway, you guys ready to start round 2? Okay, no
Let's
complaints?
get it on.
All right. Looks like I'm starting off round 2. Welcome back for round 2. I get to start us off on this one, and we have Die Hard versus IP Man. Okay, I want to make sure Q was still with us for that one.
Yep, still here.
I did not know this until about a week ago, but apparently Die Hard was actually Alan Rickman's first Hollywood role.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, it was his first Hollywood role, and he absolutely nailed it. And I'm gonna go for Die Hard just for that.
You're not going to make me vote for it.
That's all right. Even though you're a huge Harry Potter fan.
I know who it is.
Mr. DeAndre Robinson is in comments right now. He's voting for IP Man, the best 10-on-1 fight ever. DeAndre is from the I Did Not Make These Rankings podcast network as well. He's the one that I referenced with the entire. I did not actually make these rankings either as before, so shout out to him on that one. Jess, Die Hard or IP Man?
Die Hard.
Die Hard gets another vote. Casey?
So I would like to have him reply in the comments as I'm casting this vote, but if there was a number 3 at the end of Die Hard, Dre, would you be voting against IP Man, or would you still be going for IP Man? But Die Hard's moving on. I'm voting for Die Hard.
Die Hard. We'll be getting a vote on that one. Hopefully Dre decides to comment along on that one. Q, IP Man or Die Hard?
Just picture it, all right?
Oh God, I don't want to picture anything peeing.
No,
I'm not
just
picturing
picture
you.
it, all right?
No.
You have a little boy or girl, doesn't really matter, and they just come like walking out of their bedroom and it's like, I peed, man. Like, that'd be hella funny. Would it not?
Well, I mean, Titus was standing there in the laundry room peeing, and he's like, "Mommy, I pee."
I mean, yeah, I guess. Yeah. So I peed, man, though, gets my vote.
IP Man gets Q's vote. Brian, finish this out.
No one pees on John McClane. I'm going Die Hard.
In a 4-1 vote.
All right,
Die
you know
Hard.
what? If I can't piss on him, I'm gonna shit all over him then.
Hey, he might be into that. I don't know.
R. Kelly strikes again.
So gross.
Die Hard moves on. Next up, Jess starts us off, and we have Bourne Ultimatum versus Bullet.
Born Ultimatum.
We'll be getting a vote. Casey?
Yeah, I'm still better over Bullet. Bourne Ultimatum.
You're bent over Bullet. Why? Because it beat out it swept Star Wars.
I did not say
And you kind of helped that along.
only
Just
because
like,
You did.
only because I had no choice but to break on through to the other side. But
But you did
it is
have
what
a
it is. Bourne
choice.
Ultimatum.
Yeah, you did. There's been, I believe you were the solo vote with Spartacus as well. So
You were.
if I remember right on that
Nobody
one.
held a gun to your head saying that you had to vote for
at least
Bullet.
that's not on screen.
Hey, he is Spartacus, okay?
DeAndre in comments is going for
Bourne movies.
not Bourne movies. So anyway, Jess Jess went for Bourne. Casey, you're going for Bourne as well. Q,
Yep.
Bourne Ultimatum or Bullet?
Born. I was born to
Born gets it.
bullet.
Bourne gets another one. Brian,
No, you weren't.
Yeah.
I gotta go Bullet. I love that old classic action movies like that, and plus all the Bourne movies have that weird color grading to them that are like that bluish European color. Gotta go Bullet all the way.
I will be agreeing with that one as well. Bullet, Bullet for the car alone, just for the car. If you could describe anything else out of it, like the car alone beats Bourne Ultimatum movie.
Yeah.
So
Steve McQueen.
yeah, it's freaking Steve McQueen. So, but Bourne Ultimatum is
Who
on
the
3-2
fuck is
for
that
the next
guy?
round. One
He's
of the biggest
dad
action
the
stars
bad
for his
guys in
time.
Karate Kid.
Oh. Looks like Casey starts us off on this one. We have The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly from 1966 versus Kill Bill in 2003.
Shit.
Shit
Kill Bill.
happens in the toilet.
Anyway, Casey,
Kill Bill.
Kill Bill gets a vote. Q,
So what was it? It was
Kill Bill or Good, Bad, and the Ugly?
Good, Bad, and Ugly. I'm gonna have to say Good, Bad, and Ugly. It doesn't matter. That bitch from Kill Bill would fucking kill them all. Kill Bill gets my vote.
Brian,
Kill Bill.
I will be going for the Good, Bad, and Ugly on this one for sound quality alone. Yes.
Kill Bill.
Although I'm not mad that Kill Bill won though, but it is 4-1. Moves on to the next round. Looks like Q starts us off. And we have Independence Day versus Point Break.
I gotta go Indie Day all day.
Independence Day gets a vote. Brian.
I got to go Point Break.
But
I am an FBI agent. What better acting could you get than that? Point Break. Come on.
I mean, you could probably get a lot better act. Walter?
I see your I'm an FBI agent, and I raise you welcome to Earth.
Yep.
I'm going to go Independence Day on this one. Jess, Independence Day, Point Break.
Sorry, Harvey, but I'm gonna have to go with Independence Day.
So they didn't come in peace, did they?
No, they did not. Casey, finish this out.
I am loyal to my network affiliate. Point Break.
Point Break stays at round 2. Independence Day moves on 3-2. Brian starts us off. We have Heat, which is a sweep last round, versus Dark Knight, which was another sweep last round.
If we're going clearly off of action movies and all that, I think I got to go lean more towards Heat. I love me some Dark Knight, but I think Heat has everything. It has the heist. It has, action, suspense. Well, not that the Dark Knight didn't, but yeah. Anyway, before I talk myself out of it, it's Heat.
He gets a vote.
The Dark Knight was more slow, I guess. It wasn't like, I mean, there was action, but it was I don't know, it was like slow moving up to it, I guess.
And not to taint anyone, I think he brought it up in the last round. Other than Heath Ledger in that film, some of those performances are trash. I'm sorry, but some of those in that, it just take me out of it. If it wasn't for Heath Ledger, I don't know if that movie is as great as it is.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. If it wasn't for him, and I think his death involves that too. I don't think if Heath Ledger died shortly after that, I don't think it would have been as good as it was, because there's you add the entire feels into it, and you can't separate those two. You can try, but you can't. It's just kind of hard to do. So I do agree, though. I think he of these two movies will be the better of the two. Jess, is it Heat or The Dark Knight?
Heat.
Heat gets a vote. Casey?
Dark Knight.
And Q, finish this out.
The Night Darkens.
Heat moves on 3-2. Will be facing Die Hard in the quarterfinals.
I think you changed my vote. Did you change my vote?
No.
Recount.
Dark Knight has 2 and he has 3.
Nah.
Yeah.
Myself, Brian, and Jess voted for
You
Heat.
can't count yourself twice.
I didn't.
You said myself.
No, I said myself, Brian, and
No,
and
you
Jess.
said myself.
Exactly what you did.
Either way, Jess, myself, and Brian voted for Heat, and you and Casey voted for Dark Knight. So Heat moves on 3-2.
I think you misunderstood Jessica.
No, I said Heat.
Ledger, yeah. Going for, yeah.
No, I said Heat.
Oh, shit. I start us off the next one. We have John Wick versus Bloodsport. I hate this. I love both these movies. I'm gonna go with John Wick though. Bloodsport it's a lot more campy than as far as action movies go than it should be. John Wick, it gives you exactly what it says it's going to deliver. And uh, I know for me, I'm not supposed to include the future movies on top of it, but John Wick 2 and 3 and however far they're gone so far, I think they're on the fourth one now. It's a lot better than the sequels to Bloodsport. So I know there's a Bloodsport 2 at least. I don't know if there's anything after that, but Bloodsport 2 wasn't really that good. So John Wick will be getting my vote on that
It's
one.
pretty much
Casey,
the same damn thing.
Jess, is it John Wick or Bloodsport?
John Wick.
Gets a vote. Casey,
John Wick.
will be getting the vote and the win. Q.
John Wick be licking this dick as long as it's stick.
Your dick.
Hard as a brick.
Your dick's as long as the stick.
Let's go.
It's like whatever floats your boat, that is okay with me. Brian, finish this out.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be John Wick. I have to go John Wick, but since Bloodsport's going out, I got to say my favorite line out of that whole movie when they're getting ready to enter the Kumite, and the guy looks him up and down, and he says, "Okay, USA." That's my favorite line out of that whole movie. It's a classic. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go check it out on YouTube. It's the best.
It's a good movie. Like people give it crap, and I have no idea why. Because it's a good movie, and there's if you look at it and from a comical sense too, it's a funny movie as well. It's like the Princess Bride in a lot of ways. It fits in so many different genres. It just depends on how you look at it.
Yeah.
Jess starts us off. We have Raiders of the Lost Ark versus Commando. Commando. Oh, by the way, John Wick will be facing Bourne Ultimatum in the next round, and he will be facing Die Hard in the quarterfinals. Casey, Commando, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders.
Q.
I'm taking out Lost Ark and just saying Raiders.
Either way, it gets a vote. Brian.
Raiders.
And one of the only times I will ever actually shout Raiders is going to be for Raiders of the Lost Ark. It is going to go 4-1 over Commando.
Guess what's not solo dolo on that one? Just a hate on me. Just a hate on me.
We live about 60 miles from Vegas, so that's all I see is Raiders stuff day in, day out.
Yeah.
You should send him some stuff because he's a huge Raiders fan.
There's a lot more Raiders fans out here than I thought there would be.
Right?
There
See,
really is.
There's becoming more and more.
I'm a Bears fan, but that's because we're not.
Yeah.
We're not too terribly far. I shouldn't say too terribly far from Chicago. It's a state away, but Iowa really doesn't have any good pro teams at all. They don't have any pro teams actually in any sport. So we got to kind of go local, and the only other team we have is Minnesota. Fuck, we're actually surrounded by football teams except for Iowa. Really, realistically, it sucks. Raiders moves on. We'll be facing Kill Bill the next round. Both of those are 4-1.
Nebraska.
Cornhuskers?
No, pro.
No,
right?
that's college.
I for Nebraska.
No, there's probably nothing in Nebraska. There's nothing in.
There's nothing
South
in
Dakota.
Nebraska, period. But
Well, I don't think there's anything in the Dakotas either. But like I know Minnesota, Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois, and Missouri all have everything. So there's that. Casey starts us off. In the last matchup of this round, of the second round, we have True Lies versus First Blood.
God, I hate this because one of my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger lines of all time is delivered in True Lies when Jamie Lee Curtis asks him if he's ever killed anybody, and he, with true serum coursing through his veins, looks at her and says, "Yes, but they were all bad." But again,
Give us
First
the
Blood
accent
is,
and then say that so we all can get the feel of it.
yeah, that's the best you're gonna get. I just feel like First Blood's a little bit better all around movie to begin with. So First Blood.
I originally had an Arnold Schwarzenegger bracket set up for sometime this summer. I had a when we were doing bids for the brackets that we wanted to do. I was the only one who wanted to do it. So I'm sitting there going like, well, I'm gonna have to postpone it now, so I can figure out enough guests to get it done. But that was back when we had a full set of bastards to do. So First Blood gets that vote. Q, True Lies or First Blood?
Ooh, it's gotta be the True Guys.
True Lies gets a vote. Brian?
That's a hard.
Nobody has blown their load so far.
It was true. What was it? True Lies, and what was the other one?
First Blood.
First Blood. So I'm conflicted only because True Lies is that action movie that you go to in the summer. You stand in line, you're excited at the theater. But
This
First
dude is
Blood
such a
has
guy.
First Blood has the story. It has actual, and it has action. I got to go First Blood.
Gets a vote. I'm gonna go with True Lies on this one for two reasons. One, I want Jeff to be a tiebreaker just because I'm an evil bastard, and two, True Lies has some of the best one-liners in that movie because it's Schwarzenegger. I mean, the entire "I want to divorce" is in that movie too.
The divorce.
Yeah.
And Tom Arnold does a great job in that movie as the supporting actor.
Fellow Iowan. I've met him, by the way. He's a douchebag. Granted, I take it back. I've met him once. He could have been having a bad day, but he was a douchebag to me. So I will give him the benefit of the doubt. It is a tie matchup though. True Lies versus First Blood. Jess, you are the tie-breaking decision, moving us on to the next round. But since you are a tie-breaking decision, do you want to know what movie it will be facing in the next round?
Who's it going against?
In a 3-2 split, it will be facing Independence Day.
Ooh. I'll go with True Lies.
That a boy Frederick. Leaving it
True Lies
to come through. Clutch right there.
True Lies with the turnaround goes on to the next round. We'll be facing Independence Day. We'll be right back right after this break. There is nobody left to do ads. I don't have any ads to do. If you're out in Spotify land, or not Spotify land, if you're out in YouTube land, because this part will be edited out for the Spotify show, and you want to be on the show, go ahead and let me know, or Harvey know, or one of the other bastards know, and we will make sure to figure out what bracket you would want to be on. And we are also we are taking casting calls, I guess, for future full-time bastards, which is ironically enough the reason Brian is here today, so we can kind of vet him a little bit to see how well he does. Yeah, it's kind of.
They're looking for bastards, and they said, "Hey, you're the biggest bastard we know. Why don't you go hang out with these guys?" So, no, I appreciate you having me on. It's an awesome experience. I'm having a blast.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So, but if you want to be a guest, you want to be a bastard, go ahead and let myself know. I don't pay attention to comments after the show is over, so sorry about that one. But
I mean,
go ahead and
message me on Facebook and let me know. Be patient. I might not answer for a couple weeks.
Wait,
that's the one
just
you want
wait.
to talk to over him.
Wait until the end of the show. All of our socials are there. You can contact one of us, and we will make sure to make sure shit happens. So, welcome back to round 3. There is no more breaks after this one. We will find a winner. We have 8 movies left. They are Die Hard, Raiders, Heat, Kill Bill, Bourne Ultimatum, Independence Day, John Wick, and True Lies. Casey starts us off, and just for Harvey, I'm gonna let Casey go first on this one so he can make sure that he votes the right way and is not pressured. We have Independence Day versus True Lies.
So, again, like with the other previous rounds, Old Fogies for life, and for the dance that Jamie Lee Curtis does in the middle of that movie, I will be voting for True Lies.
True Lies gets a vote. Q, Independence Day, True Lies.
I'm voting for Harvey's real side. I'm going for Independence Day. I know deep
Brian.
down he probably really loves him, and he was just hurt somehow, some way by him, and now he just despises.
Brian,
Deep
is it
down,
Independence Day or True Lies?
True Lies. I gotta go True Lies.
I. You know what? I'm gonna show Harvey some love on this one. I'm gonna go True Lies myself and make sure Independence Day stays in the quarterfinals. Jess,
fuck you, Freddie!
what is your vote?
I'm gonna have to go with Independence Day. I still like that movie. I still think Harvey deep down does like Will Smith and Will Smith movies. He just chooses not to admit it.
True Lies moves on to the final four. Q is around or not?
Yeah, he's still
All
around.
right. Q, I'm going to give you Bourne Ultimatum versus John Wick.
Damn, that's a tough one because I was born with a dick. So,
I mean, I would hope so.
damn. Let's go, Johnny Boy.
John Wick gets a vote. Brian
John Wick.
gets another one. I'm going to throw my vote that way as well. I'm not a fan of Bourne Ultimatum movie. I'm surprised it made it this far, especially over Bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bullet was just bad.
it should have beat Hero. Sorry, it shouldn't have beat Hero either, but it did. John Wick gets my vote, which means it will be moving on. Jess
John Wick.
and Casey finishes out.
John Wick.
Gets another one. John Wick moves on 5-0. We'll be facing True Lies in the next round. Looks like Brian starts us off, and we have. Let's go Die Hard versus Heat.
Ooh. I'm gonna catch heat for saying this, but I gotta go Die Hard. I think that's the standard for me for action movie.
Die Hard gets a vote. Heat gets my vote. Jess, it is a tie game. Die Hard or Heat.
Die Hard.
Casey, Heat or Die Hard.
Die Hard.
We'll be moving on to the final four. But Q, what is your vote?
I just want to make it clear I'm not voting for he. I'm just voting against Die Hard. In a losing effort.
3-2. Die Hard moves on to the quarterfinals. Last up in this round, Brian starts us off. I start us off. Brian started that one off. We have Kill Bill versus Raiders of the Lost Ark. Both of these are 4-1 last round. The first time I will be voting for this one, I will be voting for Kill Bill.
Just because
Yes.
you don't want to say Raiders, huh?
I said Raiders last time.
That's what I'm saying.
No. I was better. I was better to you than your wife was last round.
Fair enough. Fair
So,
enough.
so that should get a little bit more bonus points for me. Jess, is it Kill Bill or Raiders?
He's heading points right now. Oh, by the way, there's a point system.
Well, at least I voted for both of these movies. And I'm going to vote for Raiders again.
Oh, now she just gets an ass.
Casey, Kill Bill or Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Raiders.
Q,
Raiders.
and Brian.
Raiders.
I have to go
They are
Raiders.
going to finally win something.
Raiders again moves on with a 4-1 win. We'll be facing Die Hard in the next round, which means John Wick will be facing True Lies. Jess starts this off. Which of these 4 movies do you want to start off with? Die Hard, True Lies, John Wick, or Raiders?
Raiders.
I'll just coming
Okay.
short.
So it is Raiders versus Die Hard. Which one? What is your vote?
Die Hard.
Casey, is it Die Hard or Raiders?
Raiders.
Q.
No, I think I just blew my load.
Q decided to blow his load on this one, which means Brian will be going next.
Yeah, Die Hard.
I will. You know what? I respect Q's forethought in blowing his load in this situation, so I will be voting for Raiders, making sure that he gets to cast the final deciding vote.
Tiebreaker on you.
We're going to the Super Bowl, boys!
Which is exactly what I thought he was wanting to do.
The only time they'll go to the Super Bowl.
They got to win something eventually. I mean, hey, if I say this is their year, every year for the next, 30 years, doesn't matter. Eventually, I might be right.
Hey, I'm a Cubs fan. I said that my whole life up until that. So.
That wasn't good. That was the scariest month of my life. Is the postseason
Oh,
of I think it was 2008. I think no.
12?
Yeah, 2012. Because 2008 was a 100-year anniversary that they've won the World Series. So yeah, 2012. That was the scariest postseason, the scariest month, because I was just waiting for them to lose.
Yeah.
And then
Oh.
yeah,
Yeah, I lived through. I remember I got my first big screen TV when they were in the playoffs, and Steve Bartman. Don't tell me how I still know this guy's name. Reaches over and grabs the ball out of Moses Allou's hand, and then they lost the rest of the series. They were going to win until that point, and then I watched the Steve Bartman documentary years later, and I got a kidney stone right afterwards, and I was cursing him as I was going to the hospital. Damn you, Steve Bartman! You got me again.
I was born a week before the last time the Bears won the Super Bowl.
Oh wow!
So you're
Yeah.
saying that you being born was the cause of them not winning again?
Well, yeah,
And you know what's crazy about that? You made me feel really old because I remember exactly where I was when the Bears won the Super Bowl. I was in the 5th grade, but still, I remember when they won that '85 Super Bowl, and they almost went undefeated. Almost.
Solid.
you still wouldn't be the oldest one in the basket group though. That'd be Harvey. He's turning 50 next year.
Ray Bush.
Anyway, Raiders does make the finals on a 3-2 vote. Casey will be starting us off. We have John Wick versus True Lies.
This sucks. I could go either way.
Giggity.
John Wick.
John Wick will be getting a vote. Q.
Oh. Go with True Lies.
That is the first vote against John Wick this entire game. And Q has broken.
Wait, say that again.
That is the first vote against. Yeah, it's the first vote against John Wick this entire game. Q
I am just.
You want to roll?
It just happens.
Q has done
I
it
don't even
again.
try, it just happens.
He prevents a sweep all the way down the line for every time it happens. It's him. But True Lies does get a vote on this one. Brian, John Wick or True Lies?
That's a hard one. I got to go John Wick. The story, just everything. Even if you just put the first one, it's just so much deeper than True Lies. Like, what's the
I'll
deal
show
with
you
the
something
coins?
deeper.
Yeah, like, there's so many questions you want answered on that. And there's like a whole underworld that that you're left wondering about. I got to go John Wick.
I will be going with John Wick as well, which means it will be moving on to the finals. But
You
Jess,
guys
what is your vote?
are sick. Like, cool,
I bet that's what you meant.
But Casey did bring up a good point about the Jamie Lee Curtis dance in that movie. I think that's worth noting. And maybe
It's worth noting, but it's not worth a vote in this situation.
Yeah.
That's like a reason to vote it into round two, not a reason to vote it into the finals.
Yeah,
Jess, finish this out.
I'm going with John Wick.
In a 4-1 vote. John Wick will be facing Raiders of the Lost Ark in the finals. But first, Casey will be starting us off in the third place victory. Is it Die Hard or True Lies?
Who's voting?
Casey.
I'm blowing my load.
On a third place?
On a third place?
Why not?
I mean, you can.
I don't want to vote
but
for. I don't want to.
all
I
right.
want to vote for either of the two of them.
Q. Is it True Lies or Die Hard?
All right, so no, he just said he doesn't want to vote for either one of them. So notice he's going to get like a fucking tiebreaker now.
He is.
All right, what was it again? Sorry.
It is True Lies or Die Hard.
Oh, True Lies.
True Lies gets a vote. Brian, True Lies, Die Hard.
Die Hard.
I will be going for Die Hard as well on this one. Jess, True Lies, Die Hard. True Lies. Which means a tie-breaking decision goes down to Casey. Is it True Lies or Die Hard? Who gets third place?
So now we're going to go back for about 3 minutes and rehash something that was just brought up. It's not worth voting it for second place, but it's worth voting for it for third place because Jamie Lee Curtis, True Lies.
True Lies gets third place. Now, Q will be starting us off. Brian, myself, and Jess have not blown their loads. This is the last time to do so in this game. But Q, is it Raiders or John Wick?
We came, we saw, we gonna conquer. Rangers, baby.
Raiders gets a vote. Brian.
I'm gonna have to go John Wick.
We suck.
John Wick gets a vote. I am a man of completion. I will be blowing my load in this situation. Jess, what is your vote?
Fuck you, Freddie.
Raiders.
You're either gonna fuck me, or you're gonna at least take me out to dinner first.
Casey, is it Raiders or John Wick?
Do I honor the fact that Freddie blew his load and wants to be the one to stab Q in the heart, or do I just end it now?
Well, okay. To be perfectly honest, I do have a tendency to blow my load on the final matchup. That's been well established. The stabbing Q in the heart,
Yeah,
that's just a perk.
That's a bonus.
I've been on enough Bracket Bastards episodes to know that 9 times out of 10 you will always blow your load in the finals.
If at all possible, yes.
So I'm going to be the humble guest and save Q from getting his heart broken into a million pieces. I will vote for Raiders.
Raiders gets the vote and the win. I would have gone with John Wick. He is correct on that one, but not to stab Q in the heart. That was literally, I enjoyed John Wick a lot more than I do Raiders. But John Wick was second place. Raiders with first, and it was a 1 vote difference between the two of them. That is our show this week, guys. Raiders of the Lost Ark will be moving on to next week's show to face whoever wins the other side of the entire action movie bracket, and we will be here at the same time at 1:00 Central on YouTube. Go ahead and check that one out. But first, Jess, where can we find you?
You can find me on Facebook under Jess May Vandystrew or Instagram under Jess May 93 or on
Okay.
this podcast.
Casey.
You can find me on Facebook under Casey Box. You can find An Evening at the Movies on Facebook under An Evening at the Movies. Instagram, all lowercase, An Evening at the Movies. Twitter, @evening@, and TikTok, Casey.AEATM95 as well. It is also on the I Did Not Make These Rankings Podcast Network website, www.idnmtrpodcastnetwork.com. Check it out, enjoy, and have a good week.
One of these days, you're just going to have to get like a board that has all this stuff written down. Like, just go ahead and read it like each time so you don't forget anything. And Brian, what about you? Where can we find you?
First, I want to say appreciate you guys having me on the show, man. I had a blast. Great time. You guys are great. But you guys can find me over on thedailydank.com and then all over on every social media, the Daily Dank or dailydank.com, guys. We're all over the place.
And as always, I am your host, Freddie Fisher. You can find me at that on Facebook. While you're on Facebook, check out Bracketology. We have 2 different polls going up every single day. Currently, we are in the finals as we record of the sex song bracket, and it is Closer by Nine Inch Nails versus I'll Make Love to You by Boyz II Men, and whoever wins that will be moving on to the winners bracket sometime in the future. We're getting close to doing that one too. So
I'll make love to you, Freddie.
You forgot the numbers.
No, I didn't forget him. I skipped him on purpose. We don't want to find Q. That's the issue. He won. He's in a good enough mood. He can go after me if he wants. But other than that,
Facebook under Quentin Vandystrew or under the Instagram under Master Bastard Q, because that's what I am, the master of these bastards. Dance my butts.
mark for edit. You can find me on Twitter, by the way, at Fisher777, and all of us at BrocketPod. And the last one, last but not least, as always, you can find me on Instagram at Can't Lick Me, not one word. We will see you guys next week again, 1:00 Central on YouTube. Comment along with us, along like DeAndre Robinson from Mass Debaters, another really good show as well. We were doing the second part of the action movies. We will see you guys next week.
Bastards out.
See you guys.
Deuces.